yet another memorable chapter. From inside the 10, here he comes. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. So the Penn State Nittany Lions offense will get the first possession of the game. These rivalry games can really get the blood pumping, and we'll see who can manage their emotions best early.
Everyone's been waiting for this game, right? You know, both of these teams have had this game circled all the way back to the beginning of the offseason, so you got to be able to play under control.
With passion, with energy, with hatred, because it's a rivalry game, but keep your emotions in check and making sure I'm controlling what I can control.
Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. The give to the back. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains. And the Nittany Lions move the chains with some signature hard-nosed running.
Some Big Ten physicality, some Big Ten running the football. Gotta have it. Gotta start with that when you're in the Big Ten and when you're at Penn State.
At the 40, there he goes. What a play to get it inside the red zone, and they are set up at the 17.
This guy is really unique. Top 5 in the country running the football right now, and I love the way this offense gets him involved. They're able to move him around a little bit. They change up the schemes, but the big key every week, get him the ball and let him go to work.
And he's able to find a little bit of running room before they get him down. When you reach this point in the season, these types of games, top 25 matchups, really determine whether you're going to be a contender.
Yeah, and really show what you're going to be the rest of the season. How are you going to finish strong throughout the season? You know, the first part of the season, now getting to the middle of the season.
Touchdown, Penn State! He ran through tackles like water through a sieve.
You knew this offense wanted to come into this one establishing the run, guys. They didn't even attempt to throw on their first drive. They were more physical. They were pushing guys around up front. This guy caps it off with a nice touchdown.
And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. He stopped at the 23, a couple yards short of where he would have been with a touchback. The Golden Gophers offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. As we take a look at our impact players for this game, David, what do you look for to make an impact from your leaders?
Your leaders not only have to lead the football team, but they got to step up and make plays on the field, keep everybody calm. These guys typically do a really good job of it.
Yeah, David, and they also generally set the tone for their respective football teams. Regardless of which side of the ball they play on, the teammates look towards them to step up in big games like this.
And here's a fumble way behind the line. How about that alert play from the defense to corral that fumble?
And that is exactly how you draw it up. You get to the quarterback, but you get the football out. You hit him, you try to rake it out. Great job by the defense, getting the sack, getting the fumble.
And they will open this drive right on the doorstep with a 1st and goal. Relentless, tough running gets it down to the 4. Offense trying to pay it off on 2nd and goal. Tries again to get it in. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! And the extra point makes it 14-0. They didn't have a whole lot of real estate in front of them when they took over possession, but they wasted no time. Couple of plays into the end zone.
Minnesota, 0.
He'll return it. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Minnesota has it back, and the Gopher offense is headed onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. The Golden Gophers will bring the punt team onto the field. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. With the question as to whether he can feel his fingers at this point, fair catch is wise in the middle of this snowy, cold weather. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. He's now up to 83 yards on the ground, and he has his eyes fixed on leading the nation in rushing. They can really be aggressive after that last play at 2nd and 3. They'll try the run. Brought down at the 39 after a pickup of 10. It'll be a first down.
There's really no secret to it, David. When this guy's running well, this offense is so hard to stop.
It opens up everything, and he's having a great day, showing you a little bit of everything, and this offense has got it rolling in there.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Looking for space, it's Singleton. Able to squeeze out a couple on the play. It's down at the 35. We anticipate this one being much tighter than the last time these two met when it was a blowout, David.
And here's the thing. You got an opportunity right now. You got the football early in this game to show you. This is going to be more of the same, Palmer.
Well, we talked to both coaching staffs and players, and they're all very aware of what happened the last time these two teams played. So expect everybody's A game today. Reese, you're right. We expect this one to be a lot tighter.
The Nittany Lions are moving quickly down the field. Here's the handoff. Breaks the tackle. The emotions and energy figure to be high all day, guys, because of what's at stake this late in the season. Really a must-win for both teams.
Yeah, these are the ones that get your blood moving, Reese. You get jacked up, man. You don't have to say anything in the locker room. Give these big speeches. You know what's at stake, Jesse. You're ready to rock and roll. This is when you prove you're the big dog.
Which is pretty cool, too, because it's been a long season. And these teams obviously are both physically and mentally tired. But you're right. For this kind of game, this is the one you circled at the start of the year. You knew that this was going to matter. There was going to be a lot on the line. Now it's time to go out and prove you're the better team.
They get him on the ground. He picked up about 4 yards, and the ball spotted at the 10. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. From the gun, running back gets the give. Oh, how did you make that move? So close to that end zone. He could almost taste it, but it'll be 1st and goal for this offense. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. They'll try to pound their way in. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Penn State! The mantra is always finish, and they're trying to do that here in the regular season with this Week 12 performance. You know, the way he's going has me churning through the old memory bank here for the single-game touchdown record at Penn State. You know who that was?
I have no idea.
Well, everyone knows it was Harry Robb. Went to the house 6 times in 1917. He only needs a sliver of daylight. He's on the loose. A dynamic return, explosive, and got loose on this kick coverage team, and they were barely able to keep him from taking it all the way. The offense lining up for a 1st down play. Use the play fake, now to throw. Grabbed behind the line, it's Peters. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
How about the job and recognition by the defense? They knew exactly what they were trying to set up, and they had multiple defenders surrounding that intended target so that there was nowhere for...
Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46. He just terrorizes quarterbacks, his 30th career sack.
And that's an amazing number, 30 sacks, because a lot of guys get sacks early in their careers, and then coordinators figure it out and then start double-teaming them and sliding and chipping, and then their numbers come down. This guy, though, David, has never stopped.
And it's got to be consistently, Jesse. Like, you got to consistently play hard, play after play, because sometimes they get rid of the ball fast. Sometimes you can't get in the mix. But to get to the quarterback 30 times, very few people have done that.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. On the run, it's Allen. And they'll make the stop, and we are headed to the end of the 1st period. We've come to the end of the quarter, and it's Penn State on top. They largely dominated this first quarter as indicated by the stats.
Penn State 21, Minnesota 0.
Now facing a third down as they line up after the break. Out of the gun, the running back has it.
And obviously, this is one of the best offenses in the country, and it's because they get first downs. Top 10 in the nation picking up first downs. How nice is it to know you can turn around, hand it off to that guy right there, and let him go to work.
Leaves it with the running back. And he was able to get away from one tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play. 6-yard pickup on first down leaves him with 2nd and 4. The give to the tailback. And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line.
It's a nice run there to get the first down. I got to tell you, I'm impressed with the stable of backs and the weapons this offense has. A lot of different guys can touch the football in a variety of ways, but they've been running it very, very well in this game so far.
Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Brought down to the ground, but he has enough for the first down.
Yeah, I'm so impressed watching this guy run the football. And I'll tell you, I think Joe Paterno would have loved this guy in his offense too. His teams always prided themselves on being able to run the football, right? Be more physical than the opponent. This guy has the ability to just wear defenses down. So hard to stop.
I like feeding my guy. I like getting my running back touches, feeding the ball so he can break some of those big runs. But I'm also okay with these little ones. Set the tone, stay balanced.
To the ground with the back. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
I know the passing game sells, and the passing game is exciting, but it's not exciting to get 5 or 6 yards of pop on the ground, but it will be very successful.
They'll try to drive ahead on 3rd and short. They'll pick up enough yardage for the first down. They've got it at the 30.
This is one of the top 10 offenses in the nation in getting first downs. To do that, you gotta have balance. You can't always throw for it on 3rd down. You've got to be able to run it as well. And they've got a dude in the backfield who just knows how to move the chains.
Got it inside the 30 before he's finally pulled down at the 25. It's a gain of 6. Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. They go to the ground. Wrestled to the ground after picking up the first down.
And I don't care if I get it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the first down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the first down line.
And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. They'll give it to the back. Bulls his way forward. He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. 1st and goal from the 8.
Well, I know this is an offensive line that has a ton of pride. They want to come out each and every game and really impose their will on the D-line. They got just enough.
And he's sprinting. He'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Nittany Lions!
This is a guy that put a lot of pressure on himself coming in this season. He felt like he was ready to have a breakout year. He knew he had all the tools in the toolbox to be able to get it done, and he's showing it. That's his 10th rushing touchdown on the season.
Minnesota 0.
And he'll bring it back. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Minnesota offense is headed back onto the field. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
On 2nd down, just keeps firing. Just a short pass to the tight end.
A nice job by the defense there, tackling the catch and smothering the tight end. They know this offense is going to try to find him in the passing game in a lot of different situations. That time, perfect coverage, and nice job bringing the big guy down. Not easy to do.
And they'll miss the connection here on 3rd down.
Third and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, fourth down.
Got to be extra careful in cold weather like this. He'll signal for the fair catch and make it between the snowflakes. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. How about that blocking up front in that running game last time as they just walked it down for a touchdown, David?
And the big boys up front doing their job. Opening holes, the backs making plays, everything on the ground on that first drive worked.
And we know that this is the identity this coaching staff wants for this team, right? They want to be the most physical team on the field. Let's see if they can keep it up.
As we reach the 2-minute warning, they'll need to try to get a stop to keep this thing from getting out of hand. And here comes the offense on second down. Out of the gun, the give to the back. Finally pulled down, but not before moving the chains for a first down.
And that's all you want, right? You want that first down, understand the situation, understand I got to get north and south, get a first down, get a new set of downs.
Now it's a first down from the 43-yard line. They'll leave it with him. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
And off from the shotgun. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. 3rd and short, coming from the 34. You wonder if this is 4-down territory. They'll try to run for it. Just what they'd hoped for on 3rd down as they've got a first at the 32.
Nice job by this offense converting the 3rd down. Listen, 3rd and short, they know you're going to run the football, and they still did a great job being physical. 3rd downs has been such a struggle for this offense. Bottom 50, one of the worst in college football. Nice job on that play.
Got 8 on first down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. They'll go to the ground. What a nifty run there to pick up the first down.
You ain't getting by all these guys right up the middle unless your offensive line and your tight ends and everybody is putting in the work up front, committing to blocking. The running back does a great job finding the hole, exploding through. How about that nice, big, huge game? If I'm the OC, let's call that one again.
They keep pushing forward, now back to work on 2nd and goal from the 6. The run up the middle, trying to find his way to the goal line. Touchdown, Penn State! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
And the returner will be dragged down. Minnesota has it back, and the Gopher offense is headed onto the field. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be conservative. We're a little bit down. Listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're here, we're going to create something now that we can build on in the second half.
Coach said all week he wanted to be aggressive. This is a great opportunity to show that right now.
He's going for it all. And he bats it away. It falls incomplete.
As a quarterback, this is going to be a very tough game. You're going up against one of the top 20 units in the entire country. They know who your primary target is. They're going to be keying on him just like they did that last time.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
A loss of 1 yard on the play.
One snap coming before they head to the locker room. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Pass on the way, it's picked off. Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. And he'll be brought down, and that's how we'll end the first half. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. Kickoff and kickoff return teams on the field, and we're just about ready to go in the 2nd half. And he's coming out of the end zone. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Minnesota offense is headed back onto the field. Nothing went right in that first half, and the first order of business here. Try not to be embarrassed any further.
But the comeback is possible. Remember 2006, Michigan State down 35 to Northwestern at halftime? They somehow came back and won the game. But it all starts on one play, and that has to happen here on this first drive for the offense.
Yeah, the first possession, because your possessions, you're only going to get so many possessions, and you've got to score on every single one of them. Offense, defense, special teams have to play out of their mind, but they have to believe.
I'll tell you what, that's great execution between the QB and receiver. They look like they could execute that throw in their sleep. Quarterback took his steps, threw it on time. Great route by the receiver. Nice job securing the catch.
Fires downfield. A beautifully placed ball to the outside, and the toe drag for the big pickup. In search of their first touchdown of the game, they are on the move with a 1st and 10. Leaves it with the back. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. And we talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And I'm surprised, but now what's your counterpunch? How are you going to get the ground game going? Because so far, not a lot of success.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Quickly out to the tight end. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. And the Golden Gophers will send out the punt unit. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. And that ball will sail into the end zone for a touchback. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute it.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
Lining up from the 34 on 1st down. The give to the back. Smashes through. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2.
I think tackling is about effort most of the time. It's about how much passion, how much physicality you can bring to get your guy on the ground. Refuse not to get him on the ground. That's not a big back. You got to get that guy on the ground. You can't let him pick up an extra couple yards and stay ahead of the sticks. And listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, I love teams that commit to the run, and when it's successful, keep running the rock.
Yeah, David, I think this offensive line right now, they've got a lather going. They're really sort of getting in the groove and flow of this game. They're just getting tremendous push at the point of attack. It seems like every single time they decide to run the ball.
Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. Quick pass on the fly motion. Oh, what a move. And he's able to bounce off one tackle, but still not a whole lot of running room.
I think you run that play so you stay out of 3rd and long. 3rd and long is not where an offense ever wants to thrive. 3rd and medium, hey, I'm good with that. So
running toward the tape. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop.
3rd down and 2, you know it's time to get physical, and this unit paves the way, Jesse, and gets the big 1st down.
And this back's got
just destroying his way through the field. He pushes his way down to the floor as they get closer and closer.
Football is about adjustments. 1st half, line up, pound strong, pound strong. 2nd half, great job. You're going to move your defense and shift to try to account for that. Boom, we'll pull some guys and run a counter backside and have some success.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! And the beatdown has ensued.
Have yourself a day, young fella. You know why they handed him the ball a lot? Because he did that. That's his 4th trip to pay dirt. This dude has shown you a little bit of everything. What a great back. And 4 touchdowns on the day.
And he did get that extra point through, no problem with the frozen tundra beneath him. We've come to the end of the quarter, and it's Penn State on top. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. Here he comes with the return. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. Minnesota has it back, and the Gopher offense is headed onto the field. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the first play. You need to be successful and productive on that first play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too. Don't you just feel like there's a little bit more sense of urgency on this drive? It just feels like they've got to be able to put some points up on the board here.
Getting some heat. He's brought down, but not before he turned that into a positive play and picked up a few on the run. A 3rd and short coming from their own 20-yard line. They'll try to get it through the air. He's got his man. Makes the grab, and it's enough for the first down before he's dragged to the ground. The Golden Gophers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Comes out throwing on first down. Quickly to the tight end. And that had all the makings of bug meat windshield, but how about the little corner taking on the big tight end and keeping him from getting the first? On second down, they'll take to the air. Caught on the outside, it's Williams. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down. And the Golden Gophers have their offense in high gear. Moving the running back, trying to get the D to tip its hand. A little release to the back. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. They'll line up for a second down play. He's looking to throw. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
Well, the defense came into this one knowing if they stop the pass, they win the game, and they have done that. Their guys have won one-on-one on islands. They've been able to get to the quarterback. They've been mixing up their looks. They haven't even allowed 100 yards passing in this one, and that's why they are way ahead here in the fourth quarter.
From the comfort of the pocket, he fires it to the right. The receiver was doubled, and they picked it off. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's passed, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this D.
From the shotgun, the inside give. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and leading the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. It'll be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one. And sometimes for the defense, it just takes one play, right, to create some momentum. Obviously, this guy's been eating them up. He's got over 100 yards rushing on the day. But finally, David, they get something positive here in the run game defensively.
But you kind of know that coming in. He's going to get his. Such a great back, and he's had a great day. Need to put more plays together like that right there.
Here comes the offense on 1st and 10 from the 47. They'll run it to keep the clock moving. And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator. You pick up a bunch of yards on first down, make that second down really, really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
This offense has a second down play. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
And I'm a fan of this, man. Run the football, keep the clock. We got the lead. This offense has put together a nice day, man. Like just balance, rhythm, timing, play calling, everything has worked. That's why they built this lead. They've had a great day today. And the defense is still fighting. They haven't had the day that they dreamed of. You know, talking to the coaches coming into the game, like they thought,
oh, forget the kick. He's going to throw it. And he catches it. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains. Offense picking up steam. 1st and 10 from the 31. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Running back searching for a hole. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. They've got a solid drive working, but now looking at 2nd and 11. The give to the single back. And after they get him on the ground, that's going to do it. No matter how much college football changes,